telling the truth. How did Biden get to stage 9? What's good, everybody? Almost ready. Get the camera straight. We always beat the clock, so I'm gonna start doing this first. All right, we always beat this clock, so I might as well use this time wisely. Ha ha. Yeah. Y'all ready? Let's see if the clock's ready. And let's try. Bang. See? Yeah. One more time. Yes. What's good, y'all? Y'all ready? Gotta open up the jacket for this. Wake up those pores. Wake up those pores. And funny how time flies when you're having fun. That's right, y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's hump day, May the 21st. That's right, y'all. 2025. I'm your host, BOOGOTTINYC, and this is our bottom line. Where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that. Where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. We made it another day, y'all. Another day above ground. We made it another day. I'm so happy, you guys. I'm telling you, slept very well. Like a bug in a rug. I don't know if y'all know where I got that from, but yeah, it's been around for a while. You already know what I'm going to say, so let's say it together. You guys could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So I want to make sure that you guys make sure that you're putting who you are in the comments and where you're from, like Batty Lynn, who always says she's good morning, and she always puts Detroit, and she's got her coffee or her tea ready. That's how she does it. We got Angels Among Us up in the building, 214. There you go. I don't know what 214 is. Is that Philadelphia? Let me know. I'm not sure. Good morning. What else we got? We got, let me see. Yeah, that's from California. Okay, that's California. What else? What we got up in here? Rebecca, good morning from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We got John. We're close enough to 6. Let's start. I know, I already know, right? Good morning, peace and love from Indians Exposed. We got a great group of people up in here that always stay on topic. Hope everybody had a great evening. Yes, take me in the room and wake everybody up. It's time to get up. It's time for the show, y'all. I got to get to work. I have too much in the clip. Just going to get right to it and tell you guys, I was trying to edit. I was like, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. But then I was like, we talked about that this week. Then I was like, oh my God, so you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to stack 4 videos and just let them know, look, we gotta stack these videos because we got over the amount that we normally have. I don't wanna have you guys here all day, but I do wanna make sure that we're being informative, staying on topic, and I just wanna get these clips out so that you guys can get all of this information so that we can get what we need so we can start our day. You guys, I hope you had a fantastic evening. I know I did. So you know what I wanna do? I want to get into this clip so that we can check out what's on the thumbnail. So without any further ado, let's get into this title. Okay, you guys, what do we have here? It's big. It's a lot going on today, this Wednesday, hump day, the 21st day of May. Let's get into this title, you guys. Let's go. What do we have? We have Trump. Someone is not telling the truth. How did Biden get to stage 9? Basically trying to say if he was getting all of these good reports from the doctors saying that he was really sound and strong, how did he get to stage 9 of what he's just been what he just got diagnosed with, stage 9 colon cancer? So he wants to know, how is that possible? We're going to keep on moving you guys moving forward. We've got that clip, but we've got much more that we've got to go into, such as Dems, that's right. What's her name? LaMonica McIver. That's her right there, you guys. Dems are facing federal charges after a physical confrontation with ICE with the ICE agents when they said that they were going to go and check out and see what's going on over there. They're doing an administrative check, and the next thing you know, Ras Baraka, basically the mayor, got arrested. That's the same situation that you guys, when you seen that they were pushing people around. She's basically being charged with assault. So we want to get into that as well as much more and keep on moving forward, because we got this guy right here. That's right, James Comey. He insists that he is being targeted in the investigation into the social media post where, you remember, you guys, he said he walked up onto some seashells and they just happened to spell out 8647. Yeah, very coincidental. We gonna keep on moving, because like I said, we got so much to get to. We got to get right into these clips, you guys. I appreciate you so much. It's Wednesday. Let's get some information up so that we can have something to talk about. We're going for 4 right now. We're gonna start stacking this deck. Let's get some of this information out. No certain formation or whatever like that. Might go from politics to something else, but that's what we do around here, because we have different people that like different parts of our show. So without any further ado, we've got the situation where Trump is speaking at the press conference prior to going through and trying to push through what? The big, beautiful bill. We're going to play all of it in its entirety from the beginning, and then we're going to go to another clip after this. And let's get into this, you guys. Also, like I always tell you, let me know where you're chiming in from so I can know where you're from.
You take a look, 5.1 trillion. The T, not B. 5.1 trillion out of the Middle East. They're investing more than that. It's going to be ultimately more than that. 180 wide-body Boeing aircraft. They're spending money at levels that nobody's ever seen. Usually a president goes for a trip and he loses money. In other words, he gives money. We went for a trip and we took out $5.1 trillion. Nobody has ever seen anything like it. And that's just the beginning. So I think we're a very unified party. The Senate's doing great. John Thune is doing fantastically. He's a great guy. And we're going to have a bill, the one big beautiful bill. I think it's the biggest bill ever passed. And we're going to get it done. Tremendous tax cuts for people, tremendous incentives, tremendous regulation cuts, all these regulations that are so horrible. And now you find out what happened, because Biden, look, it's a very sad thing what happened, but I really wanted to start looking into this whole thing with who signed this legislation. Who signed legislation opening our border? I don't think he knew. I said there's nobody that didn't want an open border, nobody. And now I find out that it wasn't him. He auto-banned it. Who was operating the auto-pen? This is a very serious thing. We had a president that didn't sign anything. He auto-pen almost everything. He opened the borders of the United States of America. And I kept saying, who would do such a thing? Allowing criminals to pour in from all over the world, not just South America, all over the world. They came in from Africa, they came in from Asia, they came from the Congo. The prisons in the Congo in Africa, these are rough people. The prisons from the Congo are empty. You know where they are? They're in this country. Who would sign this? Nobody would sign it. No sane person would sign it. You know who signed it? Radical left lunatics that were running our country, and the auto-pen signed it. And they didn't want him, and they were disappointed in getting him because they wanted Bernie Sanders. And then after about 2 weeks, they said, wait a minute, this is a gift. He'll do anything. We're going to use the auto-pen. And they used the auto-pen and everything. He didn't approve this because when Joe Biden was with it, he would never have approved it. You take a look, he would have never approved open borders. Go ahead, another one.
Are Republicans still grandstanding in your view?
Oh yeah, sure. You have a couple of people grandstand, but I think even the grandstanders should. Look, the alternative is a 68% tax increase.
Okay, guys, we got to keep moving forward, because, yeah, we got those guys in New Orleans Parish, that jail that escaped. Yeah, we found out the person that basically, allegedly, let me get this right, because we don't want to get in no trouble over here. We got the situation where the Orleans Parish, there's a prison worker that basically was arrested and for helping and assisting the inmates in getting out of prison. Check this out, you guys. We going over to Orleans Parish. Everybody in NO, step to the front of the congregation. I'm talking about New Orleans, y'all. Come on, let's go. Let's go. We got to stack this deck.
To follow breaking news of the escape of 10 inmates from the Orleans Justice Center 5 days ago. We've learned a maintenance worker at the jail has reportedly been arrested in connection with that escape.
That is a very big development here, which also tells us more about how potentially these gentlemen got out of the prison. Our partners at NOLA.com report that that worker is accused of helping them escape Friday. 6 of them, as we told you, they still remain on the run. A 4th inmate, Gary Price, was arrested last night in New Orleans East. These pictures you see here were just sent into our newsroom showing him being escorted to a plane to be flown out of town to what officials describe as a secure state facility. Winston Reed, he's live this morning outside of City Hall where there's a city council committee to talk about this escape, and the big headline here that there is someone, an employee now, Winston, in custody tied to this investigation.
That's absolutely right, Brandon. And City Council already wanted to know why it took so long for the jail staff to notice that 10 inmates were gone from the facility. And now the question is, are more arrests expected in this investigation? Many state and local leaders did say that they believe that these inmates were receiving inside and outside help throughout this escape. Now, mandated in the court-ordered consent decree, OPSO is supposed to make rounds at least every half hour in the jail to keep an eye on these inmates. However, after midnight last Friday, 10 inmates from the Orleans Justice Center broke a locked door. They breached the wall behind the toilet and escaped through a loading dock door before running across the highway. Jail staff did not notice that the 10 inmates were gone until hours later, around 8 o'clock that morning. Gary Price is the latest inmate to be caught. Price is charged with several counts of attempted first-degree murder, amongst other charges. Sheriff Hudson, she blamed the escape on funding and poor infrastructure at the jail, but as Joe Giarrusso, City Councilman Joe Giarrusso told us, people believe that she is avoiding accountability.
Remember, the sheriff has routinely refused to join the city's accounting system so we can see where the dollars are going, and in case there are needs, help allocate additional funds there. The bottom line is, if the judges in the federal consent decree or the monitors think something was needed, they've ordered us to raise salaries for the deputies in the past. They've ordered the building of phase 3, the medical center. If they thought something was an emergency, they would have ordered us to do it.
Okay, so that's the whole full ramifications of that. Now we got somebody that got locked up, and they said more people are going to get locked up for basically aiding and abetting these criminals for getting out of this prison. Now we're going to keep on moving forward because this is after that big, beautiful bill was pushed, and we don't really know what was happening. So Trump came out, took a few questions, and basically had a couple of back and forth, a little tiff with one reporter. I want you guys to hear this and see what's going on, because we're going right back to Capitol Hill. I'm just a bill, I'm just a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, I was caught. I ain't gonna do that. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Trump scolds a reporter for suggesting he was losing his patience as they were inside negotiating and talking. Let's go into it. Yeah, I told you I got one more after this. Then I'm coming to the comments. I'm coming to the comments right after that. Let's go.
Hill, the meeting is over. Drop on in.
I love that.
Happening now on the Hill, the meeting is over. Drop on in.
I love that. There was no shouting. I think it was a meeting of love. And there were a couple of things that we talked about specifically where some people felt a little bit one way or the other, not a big deal. And I covered them. It wasn't so much a speech. I covered certain points. And I think it was, I'd be very surprised. You told him you were losing patience. No, I didn't tell him. Who told you I said I'm going to do that? That's what occurred inside the room. You said you said who's told you that?
You heard from people inside the room.
Oh, true. It's totally true. I never used the term. I didn't say losing. I didn't even talk about it. In fact, it's the opposite. I think we're going to get it done. I'm not losing patience. We're ahead of schedule. Anybody that told you that, so wait a minute. I never mentioned the word losing patience, because I'm not losing patience. We're ahead of schedule.
That's why I asked you. I want you to go back.
Why don't you go back to your source and tell them they're liars, if the source even exists?
Senators are already talking about making a number of changes.
Sure. Always
Is
have.
that okay? Or do we want them to swallow
Yeah.
these bills?
In some cases, they have things that I like even better. No, it always happens. There'll be some changes. John Thune and Mike have been very closely aligned. They've been moving it up together.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to cheat. I want you guys to see what Elon Musk got to say about white people not being able to do business in South Africa because there's a law that basically bars them from doing business. This is crazy. I got to stack one more because we just got too much.
Dimension. Now, let's think about Starlink. Starlink is and what about the international dimension? Now, let's think about.
That's what you should be attacking. It's improper for there to be racist laws in South Africa.
Is going to make to the White House. Do you recognize that as a conflict of interest?
No, of course not. First of all, you should be questioning why are there racist laws in South Africa? That's the first problem. That's what you should be attacking. It's improper for there to be racist laws in South Africa. The whole idea with what Nelson Mandela, who was a great man, proposed was that all races should be on an equal footing in South Africa. That's the right thing to do, not to replace one set of racist laws with another set of racist laws, which is utterly wrong and improper. So that's the deal, that all races should be treated equally, and there should be no preference given to one or the other. Whereas there are now 140 laws in South Africa that give that basically give strong preference to if you're a black South African and not otherwise. And so now I'm in this absurd situation where I was born in South Africa but can't get a license to operate in Starlink because I'm not black.
He can't get a license to operate Starlink in South Africa because there's a law preventing him to do it. What you guys think about that? I already stacked this deck with 5. It's your turn. What's up? I'm coming to the comments. Let's go. Angels Among Us says, is that Elon? He looks thin there. What else you guys got for me? I got Chad C. How about that 24 hours till war ending and ahead of schedule? Yikes. What else you guys got? Mark says exactly my point. At exactly my point. Mark Dorfman. What were the guards doing? Sleeping on a job? They should be fired. You're right about that. What else we got? We got something from Kendra. Do the officers in charge of the escaped inmates get a charge or anything? They get demoted and then they get probably fired or whatever, which actually hurts in more than one way because you got less coverage and then you have, it's just not a good situation because now you got less coverage for the police or for the inmates, and they can get out even faster then, and then you don't know who you're gonna get in there. But if they're showing that they're not doing their job, I think they do need to be let go, Kendra. Okay, Casey says I don't know really though. What else you got over here? Angels Among Us 214. That's crazy. Plus, why risk your own life on a job helping criminals? That is crazy, right? Casey says we knew they had help from someone. Natalie Georgievich says insanity. Kendra's like, oh my God, Batty Lynn's over there bugging. Like, that was crazy, right? What else y'all got for me? Natalie says maybe because it's not the New York State, but last big prison break was nonstop coverage. This story is not getting as much attention. I don't think it is either. That's why we keeping it up. It's a jailbreak. Run for it. Get them. Get them. Chad C says, Rebecca, good morning, Kendra. Okay, you guys, we're going to keep on moving forward. I know that y'all like what's going on. I want to know what y'all think about that Elon situation, though, where he said that he feels like it's not fair because Nelson Mandela said that the country was fair for all people, and he is born in South Africa. What do you guys think about that? I'm not talking about an American going to South Africa and trying to do business. I'm talking about a natural-born South African here. Happens to be Caucasian. Want to know what you guys think about that because that was one of the titles. Now we're going to keep on going because we're going to make you shake your ass and watch yourself. Shake your ass and show me what you're working with. Shake your ass and watch yourself. Shake your ass. Show me. I'm telling you what we should have known something was wrong when the first verse came on there, right? I came in with my hand. Yeah. Mystical. Okay, guys, come on to the front of the congregation right here because Mystical, a.k.a. Michael Tyler, is in Ascension Parish Court basically trying to see what's going on with his cases. This guy has been in jail, locked up for a few years now, and they haven't even brought his trial up. That's one thing that I noticed about New Orleans. They will have you sitting for a long time before you go to trial. They probably charged him, and I don't even think he has a bail. So we're going to look at what's going on with Mr. Michael Tyler here, a.k.a. Mystical, and see what's going on with this situation here.
Tyler, better known by his stage name, Mystical, faced an Ascension Parish judge today. He's been locked up since his arrest in 2022 on rape and domestic violence charges. Our Chris Nakamoto spoke to his family and has more on what they had to say in this. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good evening, Greg. His mom told me she's praying for her son, but family members and his longtime friend declined to comment further today. This is video of them exiting the Ascension Parish Courthouse just after 3 o'clock this afternoon. They were in court all day waiting to hear what a judge would do to update this case. He was wearing a bright orange jumpsuit as he sat there in court with the letters APSO on the back. Mystical has been held without bond since his 2022 arrest on rape and domestic violence charges. He's entered not guilty pleas to those charges. Today, attorneys for all sides agreed they'll meet again next week to discuss future dates for the case. A gag order is in place in this case, which prohibits attorneys on both sides from speaking about it. A trial date and bond review date could be scheduled soon. For the WAPI team, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Greg?
When you get locked up for the same thing more than one time, man, I don't know, Mr. Mystical, man. That's a little bit, I don't know, man. You know, and it's crazy because he came with some of the dopest songs. You know what I'm saying? Like Mystical got that heat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom, doom. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The man in this bitch, y'all know what I'm talking about. We're going to keep on moving forward because the music ain't got nothing to do with the charges. I know that person that probably had that situation ain't feeling the same way. We got to keep on moving, you guys. Why is this a win-win for the Trump administration when it comes down to certain parts of the illegal, not illegal, it's the administration will now be able to deport certain individuals that they weren't able to deport before due to the Supreme Court new ruling. Want you guys to check this out. We got some new immigration laws that just came in. Want you guys to stay on point. That's why I always do this, to keep you guys up to date and let you guys know what's going on. Check this out.
A win for President Trump at the Supreme Court. For now, the feds can end so-called temporary protected status for hundreds of Venezuelans. While the legal battle goes back to a lower court, this is separate from the fight over deporting accused gang members under the Alien Enemies Act, which is on a different track. It is about a program that prevents deportations to countries dealing with natural disasters or civil unrest. With that, we bring in Jonathan Turley, constitutional attorney and Fox News contributor. Jonathan, great to have you with us to sort this out. Give us a sense of what happened at the court today and what it means.
Well, this is a considerable win for the Trump administration. We're talking about not a small number of people, talking about over 500,000 people. And what was curious is that the federal law itself says that you can use this special parole provision on a case-by-case basis. That is not what the Biden administration did. But once these people were in the country, the Trump administration sought to end that status. After all, it's called temporary. And the court said, no, now you've got to do case-by-case determinations, which of course would take a very long time. For the administration, this is a huge issue because if these individuals stay past 2 years, other protections kick in. They become as difficult to deport as all the other millions that were allowed into the country that are going through the slow immigration process. So it's a considerable win.
Jonathan, thank you very much for the update. We'll be watching.
Yes, that's what you do, Jonathan. Good looking. I'm glad you guys got that tidbit of information. Pass that along. Just make sure you're not passing it along to the wrong people. Now let me see what you got to say in the comments about that. I mean, Diddy got him, or Usher, LeBron James, Meek Mills, and Kevin Hart, etc., etc. Talking about, I'm gonna tell Beyonce not to come over tonight. Y'all seen that one? Ooh, and then they had 3 pictures with Rihanna laid out and 2 other people. Okay, we gonna keep on going. Profound Clarity says, when they come for y'all, I don't want to hear crying, MAGA, FAFO. Do you guys understand that we're not all MAGA up in here? I'm not MAGA. I'm a black man with common sense. Why y'all don't understand that part? Everybody's not a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent. Some of us are just humans that like to get along. Call us the get along gang. Remember the little get along gang, the cartoons? That's who we are over here. We want to get along because if we can get along, we can get past problems. Y'all know what I'm talking about over here. So all of these people trying to throw titles on us, nope. We have a great community and we can debate and talk in the comments. So MAGA, we're not. If somebody is a Republican over here, that doesn't make them MAGA. That just means that their preference is a difference than yours is. So stop it. If you think you're gonna make a profit, come on now, we gotta keep on moving. What else y'all got for me in here? What happened to due process of the law? They threw away the keys, forgot about them, says Mark Dorfman. What we got over here? VIP Auction Group says your mic seems low today or it's not picking up your voice. Okay, we gotta turn the we're gonna turn the mic up. Oh, it's on one. Now y'all gonna hear me. Now you guys are gonna hear me loud and clear. Let's keep on moving, you guys. Thank you, VIP Auction Group, for that one. Avat2 says, but so many famous black dudes seem fruity. Fruity? We used to say that. I don't know if y'all remember that DJ that used to be like, fruity, Captain Kirk. Okay, exaggerating, someone says. We always exaggerate sometimes just to keep you guys lively. Kendra Walker says, okay, well, we got get famous and turn Jill's nay, or go to Jill's name, go to jail. Oh, you try to catch me with that one. Okay, black dudes, only two options. Angels Among Us says, damn, since 2022. Yo, I didn't know he was still locked up, said Kendra. Y'all do me a favor and let more people come over here. How are we gonna do that, Bugatti? Because what you gotta do is double tap that screen and get those likes up, because it's 209 people over here. I guarantee you we can run it up to about 400. Also, if you aren't a member of this show already, I have no idea why you have not joined this show and why you're not already subscribed. You don't have to become a member, but just subscribe to the channel so that you can be updated every single day. I told you I got more to go. I'm running my mouth. I need to keep going because now we have the shield over our heads. Anybody remember Star Wars and stuff like that? We actually have a shield that's going to be covering us. My question is, can it prevent nuclear missiles? So check this out. We're going to go right back to President Trump, who's going to be announcing the art of defense. It's a shield which shields the United States from missiles. Come on, y'all. Y'all know y'all want to hear about this. I don't want to get knocked off by some strange missile. I want them to be able to knock it out of the sky or let it bounce off or something. Yeah, get this golden dome together. Let's go.
For being here in the Oval Office, one of the great places of the world, as we make a historic announcement about the Golden Dome Missile Defense Shield. That's something we want, and Ronald Reagan wanted it many years ago, but they didn't have the technology, but it's something we're going to have. We're going to have it at the highest level. I want to thank Secretary Hegseth, who's been fantastic, and Secretary Rubio, and Space Force Vice Chief of Space Operations, General Mike Gutlein. I also want to recognize Senators Dan Sullivan, Kevin Cramer, and Jim Banks, fantastic senators, great talents, great political talents, and people that love our country. In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space.
So my question is this. Does it matter who's doing it or does it matter what they're doing? Tell me that's not a good thing, whether it's Republican, independent, or Democrat. Y'all gonna get me for this one, but here's my chest. Go for it. I'm with the debate this morning. Let's go. Let's go.
And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful. And now we have technology that's even far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles. All of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%, which is incredible when you think of it. You're shooting bullets out of the air. I'm also pleased to report that the one big beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have probably, you're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed. This afternoon, I'm also announcing that I will appoint, very importantly, General Goodline to lead the ambitious new effort as the direct reporting program manager for the Golden Dome.
Okay, guys, we got a Golden Dome. We have a Golden Dome. It's going to cost $175 billion. What y'all think about that? Is it a good thing or bad thing? I want to know. I want to know. VIP Auction Group says, do not be rude. You will be blocked. Kendra's dying laughing. What else y'all got up in here? Jace at Jay, you can go just like you came in. Okay, what else we got up in here? Demonetized at Rayon88. You guys still looking for piss tape? I bet Epstein has the piss tape with Bill Clinton. LOL. What else we got? Jay Ming says, damn, how old is you? Boom, they've been talking about you the whole time. Guess what? Get them out of here. Get your ass up out of here. Thank you guys for letting me know to get out the trash. Take out the papers and the trash. Or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak. Jay, don't come back. All right, y'all ready? Let's keep on going. What else you got? Lovey Brown says the bow tie. You already know. Dill Gab says it's a peaceful plan. It says, oh, what Kendra says, not at all. It's the amount of likes against the viewers. There you go. Demonetized says the Death Star is fully operational. Rayon88 says he wants a golden shower. LOL. Louise Brown says hi. Hey, yo, how you doing, Lovey Brown? Sorry about that. Dark Barrel says no. What else? See, I'm trying to get you guys information out here. VIP Auction Group says, please double tap that screen and like the video. Your support is greatly appreciated. And we also like a lot of money, so give us all the money in your pocket. Nah, we ain't gonna go there because we already got a little bit of coffee in the kitchen. Don't worry about it. Know what I'm saying? We got some coffee in the kitchen, right? So we good with that. We want to try to get those likes up to let more people get over here. It's 343 people in the building. We want it to be 500 people in the building, especially if they like the information and all of the stuff that we sourced, sequenced, and the way that we got it going on here, and the way that our phenomenal co-hosts operate the comment section and keep everything going. Come on, y'all. We up for debates today. We got a lot of stuff that we put up in the clip. I got some more. Let's keep on going. Let's go. Let's go. $1,000. Guess how many people took that $1,000 and said, I'm going back to Venezuela. Honduras, it's looking better for me. I guess they said, you know what, I can take that $1,000 and do something in Honduras instead of getting problems over here. What is Bugatti talking about? I'm talking about the first flight of migrants who agreed to self-deport for $1,000. They arrived in Honduras yesterday, you guys, and they don't look like they had a problem with the flights. They said that they were well fed and taken care of, and they got their dough on a credit card. So we don't get into this because, again, we've been talking about it. It's relevant information, and it's something that they've been talking about doing, correct? And it's happening now. Super chat, appreciate you. About to get over there right now. Soon as we run this tape. Soon as we run this. Soon as we run it, let's go. As you see, they're getting processed. They've been flown back to Honduras. They're eating, taking all the information. The first 1,000 people that agreed to go back for $1,000. That money came on a debit card. That card right
tenía plan de regresarme. Entonces ya todo ese gasto yo ya me lo evito.
I planned to return, so I avoided that expense. So that means that he planned to it. He was going to return anyway. So in taking this flight, he avoided that expense. Let's keep on going. It's a benefit for me. I had already made the decision to be with the CBP home by plane. Okay, you guys see that they got all their bags and everything over there, all their luggage. Are they taking pictures of these people personal luggage and stuff? They crazy, what's wrong with them? All right, they self-deporting, but still don't be looking at their labels and stuff. Yeah, so everybody's basically leaving. You see they gave them food and everything, got their little care packages and all of that. That's the first 1,000 people right there. One calls and gives you a plane ticket to Houston, and from Houston, they take us to a hotel, from the hotel at Houston. They drop us over at the airport and they give us food. Did they give you the $1,000? Yes. How did they give it to you? By card. So that card you saw that other guy holding up, $1,000 on that joint, and it's working, I guess. So we got 1,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? They agreed to leave with the thou. I don't know how much that's going to stretch to in their country, but it might be actually a good small investment for a little crib, a little hut or whatever like that, a little farm or something. Get yourself popping back home, homeboy. Build up your country, make your people want to stay there. I always champion that part. Yes, America is the land of the free and the home of the brave, but why not stay in your own country if you can enrich it and make it fruitful so that you guys can multiply in your own homes and then live well and prosper over there. Nanu. I'm in the comments, you guys. Do me a favor. Let's give a big shout out to this $9.99 tip that we got as a super chat from VIP Auction Group, who always holds us down and says that he appreciates the channel and the content and all the stuff that we do over here. We appreciate you too, VIP Auction Group. You already know that we appreciate you, because if anybody mess around and VIP Auction Group say get him up out of here, you know what I'm gonna do? Get him! Bomb! Out of here. Be careful. He is lethal with it too. He'll be like, got it, get this one. I'll be like, I bet. GIK says, America so does not need a stupid dome. Okay, see what I'm saying? Everybody always got another thing to think about. God is the Almighty, Christ is King. Okay, who cares? GIK, if you don't care, how about this? Bang! Out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. Kick a rock for a block with no socks. Clint Williams says, giving money will make them a target back home. Oh, okay. Angels Among Us says, yes, Kendra. Okay, what we got? Demonetized says, GIK, I guess you missed the part where Canada wants protection with the Golden Dome, too. Okay, we're going to keep on going. Batty Lynn says, where's our $1,000? I still don't see why we kept paying illegals when it's U.S. citizens that are suffering. Batty Lynn, you are so correct. You so correct and so on point. Angels Among Us says, what pissed me off is they tried this in their country, we'd get no benefits. Hell no, they're not doing that. And not only that, they're not messing around with them police over there, or what they call the military, with them long guns. Their gun is like this long. Go ahead and do me a favor, you guys. I need y'all to double tap that screen, because a lot of people left when we stopped playing the clips. They were nervous and they were like, oh my God, he's not playing no more clips. But you know, that's cool for us, because guess what? We're going to let them go, and you already know what's going to happen, right? Do I have a banger for y'all? I actually do, because President Trump is going to get him right now talking about breaking news. Trump is basically trying to point the finger at the doctors and saying, President Biden, how did you get to stage 9 if the doctors were saying that you're 100% healthy and you have your cognitive? How did you get to stage 9 of cancer? That's a good question, isn't it? Let's get into that, you guys, right now. Do me a favor. Let's try to stay on topic. Love it when the conversation just flows. It's much better when we stay on topic, you guys. Let's go there. Let's go.
I think it makes the negotiation even more difficult. I don't want to say what the plan is, because I think it makes the negotiation even more difficult than it is. Yes, please.
Mr. President, thank you all for your sacrifice. I'm so sorry for your loss. You mentioned the bloodbath you want to see end in Ukraine.
I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time.
President Biden being diagnosed with cancer, are you going to call your predecessor?
I think it's very sad, actually. I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time. I just had my physical. You saw that. You saw the results of that particular test. I think that test is standard to pretty much anybody getting a physical, good physical. We had the doctors at the White House and over at Walter Reed, which is a fantastic hospital. I did a very complete physical, including cognitive tests. I'm proud to announce I aced it. Got them all. I got them all right. You proud of me? Yes. Your husband would be proud of me for getting them all right. It's a little risky, but I didn't get them all right. These people would be after me. It would be not a good situation. But
Okay, I think that's enough about politics. My people want to talk about some money, 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 money. Let's get into some tariffs real quick. What's going on at Walmart? Because they just got this announcement with the E&C shoppers basically reacting to what? Incoming Walmart price hikes. Let's go.
Shoppers in Green. And today we spoke to shoppers in Greenville about the price hikes, and they had mixed opinions about them. Our Chris Cook is live after speaking with shoppers and an economist about the incoming price increases. Chris?
Yeah, Courtney, some shoppers that I spoke to say they blame President Trump and his tariffs for higher prices, but other shoppers say that things have been going up quite a bit the last few years, and Walmart's only using tariffs to justify it. Walmart leaders say some store shelves will gradually see higher prices, and you can expect to see some hikes as early as this month. The company says it's due to President Trump's tariffs on imports from other countries. Dr. Philip Rothman is an economics professor at ECU, and he says Walmart imports a lot of their items.
Clothing, toys, a lot of digital products, etc.
Walmart says the scope of the tariffs won't allow the company to absorb all of the effects. I spoke to about 10 different shoppers to hear how they feel about the incoming price hikes. Some of them aren't happy.
And I'll probably stop coming here. I mean, there's a lot of different places that offer way better prices. I used to pay $100, now I'm paying $150 just to get groceries.
that doesn't make me feel good. There's been no impact, at least at my level, as far as saving any money.
The company says it will do everything it can to absorb the higher costs due to tariffs, but price hikes are still inevitable. Another shopper I spoke to says she doesn't think tariffs are the real reason this is happening and feels Trump isn't the only one to blame.
Honestly, I'm not sure if that is the actual reason. Maybe a contributing factor, but I don't know if that's the actual reason, because I've seen a lot of these prices being raised over multiple different
categories. I understand what you're saying. It's been going through different categories in different areas. And why has it been going up in different categories? Is because clothing comes from China. The electronics is imported from China. Everything that's imported and comes from China has an extra tariff on it. Now, I never trusted Walmart anyway. Every time you're walking up the aisle and you see those prices, $3.29 or whatever like that, that was never no deal. They were never really giving you the deal. Only real deals that I actually saw was like, what do they call that place? Like the big BJs and stuff like that that give you oversized stuff. That's when you're coming out there with the big old mayonnaise like this that's gonna last you about 7 years. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Do me a favor, you guys. We need to try to get these numbers up. Let's double tap that screen because we got a lot of people here. Let's double tap that screen and get more people over here to get the content out, to let people know what we're doing. And now we're going to keep on moving forward. I told you we had a lot. I got to keep on moving. Don't stop. No. We got this gun malfunction situation that stops a mass casualty in Las Vegas. There was a gym where this guy ran in with a boom boom, and luckily it jammed. He got a couple of people, but luckily it jammed because it could have been way worse. Did you guys in Las Vegas hear about this? If you haven't, come on to the front of the stage, y'all. I need y'all to check this out for Las Vegas right now. What's been going on over there? It's pretty terrible, but we got to report it. So yeah, we try to keep the bad news out, but we got to stack it and we got to keep it going. But luckily, like they said, this gun malfunction and stopped mass casualties.
Breaking here at 4 Metro, identifying the gunman in Friday's gym shooting as a 34-year-old North Las Vegas man. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
And I'm Brian Loftus, our 8 News Now investigators. First to bring you that news on 8newsnow.com. We do have team coverage. 8 News Now reporter Nick Summer learning more about the shooting victim. First, investigator David Charles is live outside Metro Police headquarters with new information from David about the gunman.
And Brian and Kirsten, right now, police here at Metro Police are trying to figure out why 34-year-old Daniel Ortega walked into this gym armed with a long gun in the first place. We have some new video to show you of him doing just that. This is from that LDAC in the Northwest Valley. This is Ortega coming in. He is armed with that rifle. About a minute later is when he shot a gym employee. He actually chased him through part of that building, fatally wounding him. We learned today that Ortega was a member of this gym, and and sources telling me that he worked as a bellman at a property on the Strip. The assistant sheriff saying Ortega fired his weapon 24 times. It then jammed, and she says that likely saved lives.
Fortunately, this gentleman had a malfunction.
Okay, you guys, do me a favor. Again, double tap that screen. Let's get these likes up to let more people know. We got 219 people up here. We got a little bit of likes. Let's try to get the ends to justify the means. And we're not asking for no money over here because we already know that it's hard out here for a pimp. So we ain't trying to hit your pockets. I mean, unless you got it, because you did probably get paid today, right? Anyway, ain't none of my business. Do me a favor. Don't worry about the money. Swipe that. Wipe it down. And then over here, let's go ahead and get them likes up because we're not looking too good in the like department today. Let's go ahead and get those up. That, you know why we asked that question? Maybe I didn't explain that to you today. Once you like, it sends up a notification from YouTube and many more people come over. So like I said, we don't concentrate on the tips and the super chats. We just like to get more people over here because we're trying to get those numbers up. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by tomorrow. Come on, y'all, it's a race. Let's go. Now let's keep on going. Let's keep on going to get the rest of this out.
In his weapon, which actually saved this from being a mass casualty event.
Police say right now there is no connection that they can find between that gym employee who was shot and killed and Ortega. Police shot and killed Ortega as he ran out of the gym right through the front door about 6 minutes after this all started. 3 other people were injured as well. Now, I did reach out to the funeral home caring for Ortega's remains today, trying to get a comment from his family. They had no comment to provide. Metro also saying if you're a witness and you were there that day, you have any information about Daniel Ortega or this victim, how they may be connected, if at all, to please contact them. We'll have more of those 911 calls coming up new here at 4:30.
All right, y'all. Bad situation. At least they got him in a gun jam. We're gonna keep on. We're gonna keep up with that story about any victims or maybe people that were injured. I promise I'm definitely going to keep you guys up to date on what we got going on with that. But what do you guys got for me in the comments? Wait a minute. Can we get 80 likes? That's what we going for, 80 to 100 likes. The greatest comment, con man says, when you fill your vehicle with fuel, who do you dream of putting your... Oh my God, now you got to go. Bang! Out of here. See you later. Hit that up button and like. There you go, Kendra, 237 people. We got 65 likes. Come on, you guys. We going over to Penn real quick. We got to go to Penn. I think it's Pennsylvania or Penn, whatever. But there was an emergency landing again on one of these little planes. Yes, we bring in the story because it happened. Luckily, these people survived. Emergency landing in the in this helicopter, right? It landed on a lawn, on somebody's lawn. Check this out, y'all. I want you guys to see it. Why? Because it happened. We break it first, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on with airplanes nowadays. We got another emergency landing here. I would have been scared to death because I'm scared of planes anyway.
Now from Fox,
turning
to a compelling story out in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. A medical helicopter made an emergency landing in White Marsh last night. Officials saying all 3 people inside the helicopter made it out safely. Right now, we want to check in with Fox 29 Philadelphia's Greg Payne. He joins us live.
Now imagine you in your crib
I'm at the scene
and some
with
helicopter
the
just
very
land on
latest
your lawn.
information. Greg, good morning to you. Thankfully, they did make it out safely.
Whoa.
Yeah, good morning. You are exactly right. And I mean, a lot of credit has to go to the pilot in this situation that was able to land this very safely. And you can just see the extent of the damage that is on this helicopter at this point in time. There appears to be some damage to the helicopter rudder, or also known as the fin in the back of the helicopter, and the tail rotor blade is gone. But the most important thing, as you had mentioned, is nobody was hurt. Now, this viewer video shows just after 7:40 Monday evening, a Penn Star medical helicopter making an emergency landing. The chopper had left Philadelphia and was heading to its base in Blue Bell in Montgomery County, ending up landing less than 2 miles away, right on the front lawn of a home on Musket Road in White Marsh Township. Fortunately, all 3 crew members on board making it out safely with no injuries, and nobody on the ground injured either.
I guess that's what you have to worry about if you live near an airport or anything like that. It could happen to anybody at any time. I don't know about living near no airport. That's pretty crazy right there. I know a lot of you guys didn't even hear about that, but that's why we show all stories from everywhere. Now we got the Democrats. There she go. Y'all already know. The Democrats are facing some federal charges now for the physical confrontation that they have with those ICE agents. Yes, we're talking about, what's her name? LaMonica Ivy. Come to the come to the front of the congregation if you guys are from New Jersey, because that's what's going down right now. Come on, you guys. Let's see what's going to happen with these charges that are being given to these Democrats.
Chaotic protest outside a New Jersey ICE facility earlier this month.
Madden Rivera is live in Washington with the details. Good morning, Madden.
Good morning. Prosecutors tell our Alexis McAdams that the acting U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, reviewed several pieces of video from that protest, some of which has not yet even been released to the public. Habba said on X, New Jersey Representative LaMonica McIver assaulted federal agents. So Habba's office is charging her with that, along with interfering with law enforcement. Meantime, they're dropping a misdemeanor charge against Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, who was arrested that day for trespassing. In a statement, McIver says, in part, the charges against me are purely political, they mischaracterize and distort my actions, and are meant to criminalize and deter legislative oversight. She says federal agents were the ones who escalated the situation when she and 3 other Democratic members of Congress went to that ICE facility, Delaney Hall. DHS says video shows her shoving and body slamming an officer. You can see her there in the red. McIver, however, denied that.
We were simply there to do our job, therefore oversight visit, and what you're watching in the video, and we don't have all of the body cam, and we hope that all of the body cam is released. It was very difficult to watch that happen, but absolutely, I did not body slam anyone.
Stop lying. Stop lying. We all saw the same thing with our eyes. Why is this lady, why is this big Bertha woman trying to lie to us and we just saw you shove a grown man almost through the whole gate? Stop it. If you think you're going to make a profit, you're just trying not to get locked up. Okay, we got demonetized over here that says, I'm guessing Democrats never heard it's better to be thought of as a idiot than to open your mouth and to remove all doubt. X-Kitty says, what, looking spiffy today, might I add. Thank you so much, X-Kitty. Thank you so much. Kendra Walker's over there dying with the glove. Christina says, funny, they did this, but they never tell how the facility was in the inside when they got their tour. They acting a fool for views. Y'all didn't see my depiction of that? Oh, y'all got to go look at that short. Somebody actually started sharing that short, and it almost went viral. Because basically it's like this. At first they went up and they're like, yeah, we want to see this. And then I said, if a reporter should have ran up on them and been like, hey, so how did the facility look? They would have been like, oh, well, we're going to get back to you on that. They definitely wouldn't have wanted to answer that question, because now the facility was clean, had the right amount of staff, everybody was being handled the right way. Now what you got to say? They don't want to come out and report that, especially when the actions that they took prior make them look like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-duns, thun-dun-duns. They don't want to take accountability. We're going to keep on moving forward, because now, sadly, Bugatti himself has to come to the front of the congregation. I have to make myself presentable, you guys, excuse me. Okay, I'm here. What y'all got for New York? What we got for New York is, it's not safe. Bottom line. Our bottom line, it's not safe. And how is it not safe? We don't want to talk, we don't want to hear from you. We got to keep on going. We already know what the crap is and your defense is going to be. So Hakeem, go have a seat. I got to bring my people to the Bronx right now, and we got to show some accountability, because it's basically not safe out here on these streets. 2 men on the same block, killed. I can say that word. I ain't gonna say it. They know they're not here anymore. 1 man was hit in the head, just sitting in the front of a store on his walker. Nice neighborhood gentleman. It's a terrible story, but this is what's going on in my city right now, and it sucks.
It's like, and they always got me. Like, I was like, it was chaos. Like, and they always got me. Like, I was like right there when it happened.
It was a close call for this man. He says he witnessed gun violence play out right before his eyes.
She's down on the ground screaming. She got hit by a stray bullet. There's a dude with a walker. You see him around here a lot. He's always like by the garbage over there. He's down on the ground. He's not moving anymore.
He's talking about two innocent bystanders who police say were minding their own business when bullets went flying. 57-year-old Kevin Jennings, who was sitting on his walker, died. A 34-year-old woman was hit in the leg and she is expected to survive. It happened at this intersection at East 188th Street and Marion Avenue just before 7 Sunday evening. This man, who was still very shaken, does not want to appear on camera, but tells Pix 11 News it was too close to home for him.
Sounded like fireworks. Pow, 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 pow.
Witnesses describe hearing at least 6 shots and seeing young people running from the scene. One bullet hit Jennings in the head, and people in the neighborhood say he was very well known.
Yeah, he was a nice guy, and the only thing I remember that he buy the food and he asked us for water.
Sources say the shooting was caught on surveillance cameras from the different businesses on the block, where detectives are now taking a closer look and talking to witnesses.
It's terrible because it's not safe out here. It's not safe at all. So everybody has to have eyes behind their heads.
Jennings' family members are too distraught to talk, saying that they have to focus on planning a funeral. In the meantime, if you have any information on this, call Crime Stoppers. The number's right there. It's 800-577-TIPS.
Because they running around like Keystone Cops. We need your information. They come up on the scene arresting all the wrong people. So we need you guys to help us out after the fact. We don't patrol the streets anymore so that the criminals can think that we're out there. No, we don't do that anymore. You're gonna hardly see a patrol car. Why? Because there's less police in the force right now, but nobody wants to admit it. Crime is crazy and running rampant in New York, and I already told you guys. I told you guys a week ago, maybe not. I'm gonna say about 2 weeks ago. Now that it's gotten hot, the rain is over, we're gonna sadly be doing a lot of reporting on people losing their lives in this city. I'm keeping my behind in the house. All that going to events and stuff like that. Nope, I'm gonna make the event right here. We're gonna keep on moving forward because this is a person that I think deserves what she gets. She deserves the amount of time that she's gonna get and that she was sentenced to. Because this woman here, Claudia, she did something terrible to a friend of the family that she knew since she was a child. This lady, Claudia Benson, she's sentenced to 23 years. She's sentenced to 23 years in prison because she basically executed her friend. Basically execution style, right on the sidewalk. The lady shot her own friend, execution style. I want you guys to see this. I know you probably saw this story in the past, but now we have the summation and basically what's going on with it and where this person wound up at. Got the amount of time that I think she deserved, but sadly, the lady will never get her life back, and the family will never be healed the proper way because they're still scarred behind this.
Years after Delia Johnson was gunned 4 years after Delia Johnson was gunned down on a Brooklyn sidewalk, her killer has been sentenced. Today, emotions ran high in court as Johnson's family finally got a chance to speak. And News 12.
Now again, you guys, we're trying to make sure more people know about these stories, understand our platform, and get us to 50,000 subscribers because we just want to make sure that a lot of people get this information. We really want to keep on securing this 6 o'clock slot and being the #1. How do we do that? Let's get those likes up, get more people over here so they can understand what our bottom line is about. Co-hosts, I really appreciate you guys. Let's try to stay on topic. I'm coming right to the comments right after this. Let's keep it going.
Shakti Dennis has covered this trial since its beginning, and she was there today.
Applause broke out in the courtroom as a judge sentenced Claudia Benton to 23 years to life behind bars.
I feel she deserved more, but today is about changing. Today is about forgiving.
The sentencing marks the end of a 4-year nightmare for the family of Delia Johnson, shot execution style on a Crown Heights sidewalk in 2021.
I am so glad that this is over.
In an emotional victim statement, Johnson's mother asking why and pouring her heart out to Benton, a woman she considered like a daughter who even lived with the family at times.
It felt good because it was a release.
46-year-old Benton listened with tears streaming down her cheeks as Johnson's family described feeling betrayed
I'll never see my sister again.
Johnson's 21-year-old daughter, currently deployed with the Air Force, appeared by video in uniform, struggling to put her pain into words, saying at least her mother didn't suffer. Banton didn't address the family for legal reasons, according to her attorney, but he says her silence shouldn't be mistaken for indifference.
It's very difficult for someone to absorb that type of speech from people that you know and love.
The judge even grew emotional as she spoke about the deep, lasting pain Johnson's family has endured.
And it ain't easy, but I know one day it will get better.
Columbia Benton's defense attorney says he's working on an appeal, but for now, Delia Johnson's family says they can finally begin to heal now that justice has been served. In downtown Brooklyn, Shakti Dennis, News 12 Brooklyn.
I basically read everything that you guys wrote. Actually got somebody out of here talking about get a job because I actually have one. Saw everything that you guys wrote. I thought that everything that you said was directly on point. I just was over there reading while it was playing. And it's a very sad situation. How many of you saying, Kendra, the way that you said you're happy that they finally found closure? You're right about that too, because this is something, it's a terrible story. Again, you guys, a lot of times you don't get the coverage, you don't get the follow-ups. We make sure that we get all of that and we keep on consistent with the show with all of these topics. Do you guys see now why I couldn't skip any one of these titles or why I couldn't go over it and just edit out a lot of these things? Because I'm like, should I get rid of that one? I want to make the show shorter. I had to say, you know what? We got to just play it and just keep on stacking. And we got so much more in the clip. So if you guys appreciate it, let's go ahead and run those likes up, because now Trump does speak about Putin, about ending the war, and where he's at with that. So many people in the comments, I saw that earlier, but what about the war? He said he was going to end that in a week. All I can do over here at Our Bottom Line is keep us up to date on what the progress is.
Putin in a 2.5-hour call where he appeared to back off his pressure on the Russian president for an immediate ceasefire.
We can do one.
Irresistibly smooth chocolate to put the world on pause. Lindor, made to melt you by the Lind Master Chocolatier.
Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz has the story. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. The call between Putin and Trump was lengthy and seemingly friendly. The two addressed one another by first names, but there is no sign that anything significant happened in the pursuit of peace. Overnight, President Trump at a Kennedy Center event at the White House saying his call showed signs of progress, referring to the man who started the deadly war as a gentleman.
My little conversation with a nice gentleman named Vladimir Putin.
Despite the laughter, Russia's brutal assault on Ukraine, now in its 4th year, shows no sign of stopping, despite President Trump's optimism right after the call.
I think something's going to happen. It's a very big egos involved, I tell you. Big egos involved, but I think something's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I just back away and they're going to have to keep going.
President Trump may want it to wrap up, and Ukraine's President Zelensky certainly does, already committing to a 30-day ceasefire, but there were no breakthroughs with Russia, no indication that Vladimir Putin intends to join a ceasefire, and no indication of any real pressure on Putin.
And not only that, they just sent over 200 drones yesterday, so I don't see this as stopping right now, and I don't think that Putin is being forthright with what he's saying. We're right here with that situation too. Russia and Ukraine, you guys, we are right back in the tidal wave, right back in the middle of the water like this. So hey, that's where we at with that, keeping you guys updated. Now, James Comey, he insists that he's being targeted for investigations into these social media posts. Let's get into that, you guys. Do me a favor, double tap that screen. Let's go ahead and get those likes up. Super chats appreciated. Everybody who has not become a member, go ahead and let's get that going, you guys. Go ahead and become a member. Let's go.
Again, calling for a change in content that will truly honor its legacy.
Well, we took over.
Bring in the types of shows that aren't political, for example, or in this case, and ultimately cast members are boycotting President Trump attending there, for example. All right.
Many interpreted it as a call to violence yesterday to explain his Instagram post where he called to
8647, a post that many interpreted it as a call to violence against President Trump. He said that that wasn't his intention. And then throughout the course of the interview, somehow James Comey became the victim here. Listen.
What is it like to be under investigation, and how do people withstand that if that is indeed what's being ushered in?
It's hard. It gets easier the more times you do it. Unfortunately, I have experience. When you're being targeted, there's a tendency to see the boogeyman under every bed that you sit on. You can't give them that space in your head, because in some contexts, that's their goal, is to freak you out. These people are not good enough for you to be freaked out about.
So the guy who is calling to 86, the sitting president, somehow tries to wind up being the sympathetic figure here. Is that how you see this?
Carly, the way I see this is James Comey is a patently horrible person and a profound liar. The fact that he's saying that, oh, I was just walking along the beach prepping for my book tour, and I just happened to stumble upon these seashells that were just laid out right in my path that read 8647. And you know, I didn't know what it meant exactly, but I decided to take a photo of it anyway and then post it on my Instagram to all the followers that he has. And then afterwards, when I get called out rightly, including a visit by the Secret Service for openly threatening the president, I'm the victim, actually. They're coming after me. Wait a minute, you're the one who started all this in the first place, pal. All right, you know exactly what 8647 meant. You're only the former director of the FBI. You know exactly what that meant. You know exactly what you're doing with that Instagram post because you want to sell some books during your book tour by being controversial. And now you're going to play the victim? Screw you, James Comey. Sorry, I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay, we got Dawn Richardson that's stepping up right now that's validating a lot of stuff that Cassie basically said. She said that Diddy threatened her with death after she saw him put his hands on Cassie. We're going to keep on moving forward.
In the Sean was another day of graphic testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial.
With some witnesses testifying that they feared for their own safety. Briella Tomasetti outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. What's going on this morning, Briella?
Yeah, well, Rosanna and Kurt, pop singer Dawn Richard testified that she frequently witnessed Diddy display abusive and violent behavior toward Cassie Ventura. Richard said she frequently saw Diddy punch, choke, drag, slap, and kick her, and that he threatened to kill Richard if she talked. Richard, who was a member of the group Danity Kane, testified that Diddy threatened her the day after he physically assaulted Ventura, taking a swing at Ventura with a skillet and saying that she and another woman who saw the attack could go missing if they didn't stay quiet. When Richard was asked what she thought that meant, she said she believed Diddy was saying that she and the other woman would die. Richard alleged that security rarely intervened and said she urged Ventura to leave the relationship, but eventually stopped suggesting it out of fear for her own safety. Her lawyer, Lisa Bloom, was questioned by reporters as they left the courthouse yesterday.
How'd it go in there?
Very proud of her. She's very courageous. She's an inspiration to me. Yesterday, prosecutors released new evidence from last September's federal raid at Diddy's Manhattan hotel room, including photos of baby oil, personal lubricant, drugs, plus images of Ventura's injuries, such as bruises, a bloodied gash, and swollen lips. The Department of Justice also released this photo of a large chef's knife hanging on a door, which Ventura allegedly used for protection, testifying that she had locked herself in her apartment with the weapon to safeguard against unannounced visits. Now, the day finished off with Diddy's former assistant, David James, taking the stand, testifying that he was on call 7 days a week and that Diddy would request that he made breakfast for him before he even woke up. He also suggested that Ventura leave Diddy if she felt uncomfortable, Ventura replying, quote, "I can't get out." He returns to the stand to talk more today. For now, live here in Lower Manhattan. Rosanna and Kurt, back to you.
All right, thank you so much for that update this morning, Briella.
Oh my God, the personal assistant done threw you under the bus, homeboy. That's probably a real bad whammy right there. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I think that last comment right there was really bad. What you guys got for me on this comments over here? What y'all got? Y'all was talking about Diddy. What y'all was talking about? She can beat him, says Thousands. What else we got? Demonetized says, what aboutism doesn't work, Death Frog. Okay, we got she liked getting beat on. Okay, says Chisky. What else we got? Holy heck, says Angels. Thousands PS4 says sup pimp. There you go. Diddy is going to jail, says Batty Lynn. They have too much evidence against him. Okay, Thousands says PS4. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta stop that, or I'm getting you up out of here. So you gotta go. We don't let people troll like that. PS4, all this crap. You out of here. You out of here. Bye. What else you got? You got Angels Among Us says no desire for Tootsie Rolls any further. Okay, but the 46 t-shirts the Trump campaign was selling last year were perfectly acceptable? Question mark. Mars says Suge was trying to do us a favor. Okay, we got Christina that says prove it. Okay, Demonetized says poor Diddy and his fun size Tootsie Roll LOL. VIP Auction Group says Diddy is cooked. He extorted Cassie's mom for $20K. What? Christina Shelton says the video provided all of that. Okay, keep on going. We got demonetized. Okay, we're going to keep on moving forward because anybody know about this American company that basically was running over $300 million worth of illegal oil for the cartel? Not a lot of people are talking about this, but we do. We cover this stuff because we make sure that we cover everything. And I didn't even know that the cartel had money in oil. They making money like that they got investments. You should think like that because that's what they do, and they want to launder their money. This couple helped them launder their money, had a huge company, and now they're locked up. They won't let them out. Watch your head. They old as hockey sticks, had a whole bunch of money, and now they're in jail. In jail without the bail. They might be looking at them like they assisting terrorists, because that's what they've been deemed as. The cartel members have been deemed as terrorists. So I don't know what these people are going to get, the type of charge they're going to get. But check this out. American oil magnate working with Mexican drug cartel to import $300 million in illegal Mexican oil.
Christina Ohio in Dallas, and here are your top stories. DHS raided the home of James and Kelly Jensen, kicked down their door, and arrested them at their $9.1 million mansion in Sandy, Utah. The couple is accused of smuggling about $300 million in illegal oil from Mexico, involving nearly 2,900 shipments between May of 2022 and 2025 in collaboration with the Mexican drug cartels. The couple owns Arroyo Terminals in Rio Hondo, Texas, which was also raided. The company operated its own fleet of 30,000 barrel barges and had storage tanks near Arroyo, Colorado, according to information posted on its website. Investigators found that the oil transported was not genuine crude oil, but rather residues of lubricating oils and petroleum distillates, camouflaged with false customs documentation to cross the border. Wow. Officials say that part of the illegal operation included the use of companies and bank accounts in both the United States and Mexico to hide the origin of the funds. Payments for the oil were sent to entities in Mexico under the control of criminal organizations, aka Mexican drug cartels, and according to the indictment, James Jensen was fully aware of this. The couple, along with their sons Max and Zachary, face charges of smuggling and money laundering. They were released with conditions that include remaining in Utah, surrendering passports, and reporting to a parole officer.
And I'm wrong for thinking that this next story is funny. Maybe it's just me, but I'm sure probably maybe one or two people that thinks as crazy and sinister as I do might think that this is funny. But, you know, I know they're out there trying to make some money. They're trying to get their hustle on. But some places you just probably shouldn't be hustling at, you know, selling hot dogs without a license, vending and things like that. So check this out. We got this hot dog vendor. They're going to be running from these police officers outside of the EDC in Las Vegas. I'm not going to front. It's a lot of money to go to eat inside of Yankee Stadium. To get a hot dog might be $15. So a lot of people say, you know what, we're going to go outside and get our own hustle on. They probably shouldn't have did this in Las Vegas, guys, because you got to have 3 licenses to do stuff like that. To be a vendor, you have to have 3 different licenses. And just let me just put it like this. A lot of them, they got away, they didn't get away, and their stuff got caught up. Watch this next clip right here. This is kind of crazy. I'm sorry for thinking it's kind of funny. I know that people lost money, but I know.
Street food vendors, tonight exclusive video. Crackdown on street food vendors. Tonight, exclusive video shows enforcement at EDC. Kim Passoff is live with why advocates say it is so hard for them to operate legally and how that could soon change.
Yeah, to legally operate somewhere like here on the side of the road or outside of a major event, a street food vendor in Nevada needs a number of things. First, they have to pay fees. They also need a permit, and they have to have a health inspection, and that all varies by which jurisdiction they are operating in. Advocates say that the process is far too complicated. A viewer sent Fox 5 video of a hot dog vendor running with his cart being chased away from EDC by a Metro officer. One vendor leaving an ice chest behind. This was Sunday morning about 4 a.m. at the Speedway when at least 24 vendors rolled their carts into a parking lot. Since strict new rules went into effect, many street vendors stopped showing up at big events and also are avoiding the Strip.
Are we giving a warning before we're seizing people's equipment?
Just last week, state lawmakers debated a bill to clarify the rules.
There's been a lot of illegal restaurants that have popped up in Clark County. We typically will give a notice and educate about why you shouldn't have an illegal restaurant on the side of the road.
SB 295 aims to streamline health and safety protocols, lower cost, and would require local health boards to help sidewalk vendors with the permitting process.
So we currently have 8 street food vendors who are permitted, licensed in Nevada.
Tony.
Yeah, so it's hard to get a license in Nevada. You see they chasing these people down like last month when I was in Chinatown. Man, if y'all would have saw that, that was crazy. I was in Chinatown last month and they was chasing these people down heavy, like they had stole, like they had robbed a bank or something like that. That was pretty crazy. You guys want to check that video out. It's in the videos, and I'll check that out. It's basically when I went down to Chinatown and I ran up on the guys selling bootleg stuff right before all of this tariff stuff happened. Go check that out. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Double tap that screen, hit that like button. Let everybody know that we are the #1 show on the channel from 6 until. That's because we are our bottom line. Also, if you guys want to make some money, go on over to the description right now because we got some surveys up in there. I made sure that they were up to $500. Fill out a survey, see if you can make some money. Let's see if you can make some money, because if you make money, I'll make money too. Also, you got a business, dog groomer, whatever, you got a mobile barber shop going on or whatever like that, any kind of business that you may have, you should send your flyers over to us at bridgethisllc@gmail.com. We'll put it up in the post area so that all of us at our station, everybody here can see it, and you might get some more business, guys. Also, yes, we are still running, looking for more talent. Y'all, we need y'all to go ahead and go over to the website and join. We need you guys to show your talent. We can't do a talent show without talent. So I've been sending you guys over to the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Go over there and join the mailing list. Let us know that you're 21 or over so that you can be part of the talent show. And you can probably make $250 if you win in the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, or Staten Island. After all of those winners come together, we put everybody against each other, and you would possibly win up to what? $1,000 in cash. I'm going to be the host for the event once you guys come on over and start signing up. And then it's going to be sponsored by who? Big Drip Hard Punch. You guys, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Go over there, join the network. Tell us how old you are, become a member, and now, whatever borough you in, you'll be able to come on up and see if you can win at Show Your Talent. And we always hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Today is Hump Day, Wednesday. A lot of you guys are very happy because we only got, 2 more days to the weekend. But you know what? We don't work for the weekend. We work to live. So what I want you guys to do is have a fantastic day. Make sure that you get out there and breathe some air. Drink some water. Stop worrying about problems, because why? Problems present opportunities. And once the Lord woke us up this morning, that means that we got another day to get it right. And that's all that we ask for, because nothing is perfect. So with that being said, you guys, until tomorrow, till the next show, I hope you guys had a fantastic day today. If you have not subscribed to the channel, if you have not turned on post notifications, if you're not a member, y'all should do all of that right now. And yes, today, We'll be back at 6 o'clock tonight for the spotlight. We're going to get a little intimate. We'll talk one-on-one. So anybody that's here, look forward to seeing you. If you missed the show, yes, we have the spotlight, a little more Q&A. I don't got to wear the suit. We change the backdrop and we get a little more intimate and talk about stuff. You guys can ask me questions, talk about what more you guys want to see, and that's what we do at the spotlight. With that being said, I want you guys to have a fantastic Wednesday. Put the cherry on top. And with that being said, y'all already know, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me today, I appreciate you. Really hope you appreciate the show. See you guys tomorrow, because y'all already know how we do. I'm sorry. The spotlight tonight, 6 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you guys. Y'all already know what it is. With that being said,